The spiders are turning the fireflies gay. Not really, but there was a very interesting article published earlier this year that talks about a newly discovered behavior in a type of orb weaver spider and the type of fireflies that it likes to prey upon. So the students that found the initial observations and then helped with the research for this article, they noted that this type of orb weaver spider was pretty much only trapping male fireflies in its webs. Like, there were a couple of other bugs trapped in there as well, but there was like an overwhelming disparity between the male fireflies and the other insects within these webs. So these researchers were like, hey, what's up with that? So they decided to look into it a little bit more. Every type of firefly species has its own unique flashing pattern, and sometimes that pattern even varies between individuals or between the different sexes within the species. Now, that's not a super hard and fast rule. I've talked before about some predatory fireflies that can mimic the flashing of other species in order to attract them, and this case, the spiders are actually controlling the way that the male fireflies flash. Now, in this particular species, the males use both of their lanterns or light-producing organs to flash their pattern, whereas females only use one of them. And it was found that when the male firefly gets trapped in the web of the orb weaver spider, the spider will come out and wrap up the firefly and leave its lantern exposed so it can still flash. However, it will still bite the firefly, and in doing so apparently makes it change the pattern of the flashing in order to look more like the female. Now, it's still unknown the exact mechanism of how the spider venom manipulates the flashing pattern of the male fireflies. There's a couple different hypotheses about maybe it affects the travel of signals via neurotransmission or it blocks the oxygen. We're not entirely sure how it works yet, but we do know the end result is that the trapped male firefly will alter its flashing pattern to mimic a female, which then attracts more male fireflies which get stuck in the web, and then rinse and repeat. Now, of course, there were some controls to this study. A firefly trapped in a web without a spider that's just stuck there will not alter its flashing, so it does show that the spider needs to be there in order to manipulate the type of light flashing. And it also showed that if the lanterns were covered in ink or blacked out, that the spider would just eat the insects straight away and not keep them alive and flashing to attract more fireflies. It does show that the spiders are basically intentionally forcing the trapped male fireflies to flash like a female in order to attract more male fireflies, which they can then eat.